Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue to read the Iliad by Homer. I'm going to continue to read. When the south wind showers mist on the mountain tops, no friend to shepherds better than night to thieves. You can see no further than you can flying a stone. So dust came clouding, swirling up from the feet of armies, marching at top speed, trampling through the plain. Now closer, closing front on front in the onset, till Paris sprang from the Trojan forward ranks, a challenger, lithe, magnificent as a god, the skin of a leopard slung across his shoulders, a reflex bow at his back, and a battle sword at hip, and brandishing two sharp spears, tipped in bronze. He strode forth, challenging all the argue best to fight him face to face in mortal combat. Soon as the warrior Melinas marked him, Paris parading there with his big looping strides, flaunting before the troops, Atrides thrilled like a lion letting on some handsome carcass, lucky to find an antlered stag or wild goat just as hunger strikes. He rips it, bolts down, even with running dogs and lusty hunters rushing him. So Menelaus thrilled at heart. Princely Paris there, right before his eyes, the outlaw, the adulterer, now for revenge, he thought, and down he leaped from his chariot, fully armed, and hit the ground. But as soon as magnificent Paris marked Atrides, shining among the champions, Paris' spirit shook, backing into his friendly ranks. He cringed from death as one who trips on a snake in a hilltop hollow, recoils, suddenly, trembling, grips his knees, and paler takes his cheeks, and back he shrinks. So he dissolved again in the proud Trojan lines, dreading Atrides, magnificent, brave Paris. At one glance Hector raked his brother with insults, stinging taunts. Paris, appalling Paris, our prince of beauty, mad for woman, you lure them all to ruin. Would to God you'd never been born, died unwed. That's all I'd ask, better that way by far, than to brave you, strutting here, an outrage, a mockery in the eyes of all our enemies. Why the long-haired Achaeans must be roaring with laughter. They thought you the bravest champion we could field, and just because of the handsome luster on your limbs, but you have no pith, no fighting strength inside you. What is this, the man who mastered the oarsman once, who braved the seas in his racing deep-sea ships, trafficking with outlanders, carried off a woman far from far-distant shores, a great beauty wed to a land of rugged spearmen? You, curse to your father, your Satan, all your people, a joy to our enemies, rank disgrace on yourself. So you cannot stand up to the battling Menelaus? You'd soon feel his force, that man you robbed of his sumptuous warm wife, no use to you then. The fine lair and these gifts of Aphrodite, your long flowing locks and your striking looks. Not when you roll and couple with the dust. What cowards and men of Troy, or years ago they'd have decked you out in a suit of rocky armor, stoned you to death for all the wrongs you've done. And Paris, magnificent as a god, replied, Ah, Hector, you criticize me fairly, yes, nothing unfair beyond what I deserve. The heart inside of you is always tempered hard. like an axe that goes through wood when a shipwright cuts out the ship's timbers, with every ounce of skill, and the blade's weighing drives the man's stroke, so the heart inside your chest is never haunted. Still do not flee my face, the lovely gifts of golden Aphrodite, not to be tossed aside, the gifts of the gods. Those glories, whatever the gods give to of their own free will. How could we ever choose them for themselves? Now, though, is you really want me to fight to the finish here? Have all children's Argives take their seats and pit me against Menelaus, dear of Ares? Right between the lines, we'll fight it out for Helen and all her wealth, and the one who proves the better man and wins, he'll take those treasures fairly. Lead the woman home, the rest will seal in blood their binding pacts of friendship. Our people will live in peace on the rich soil of Troy. Our enemies sail home to the stellar land of Argos, the land of Archaeus, where the women are a wonder. When Hector heard that challenges, he rejoiced, and right in the no man's land along his lines he strode, gripping his spear mid-heft, staving man to a still, but the long-haired archers aimed at Hector. I'm going to stop here and continue next time. Thank you for watching.